Good morning, my friends. How are yous? How are yous? It's me, it's Buddy. I've been sitting here writing for quite some time. I'm writing an autobiography about myself. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. My memoirs. And I thought maybe I could read some couple of sentences to all of you and, see what you think. All right, you ready? You ready? Oh, my goodness. And if you've been following me for quite some time, you're gonna recognize some of this stuff. You will. Once upon a time, there was a little dog. His name was Buddy. He was a tiny Bichon. But he didn't have an easy life growing up. No, he did not. His parents, his real parents, didn't like him. They said, he takes up too much room. We don't have a backyard big enough for him. And little Buddy was sad, so sad. Till one day, they put him in a car and they took him to a shelter. That was me, my friends. That was me. I stood at the shelter, so sad and scared, because I was so young. I was a child. And the people just petted me, and they said, it's going to be okay, little fella. And they put me in a big cage. And here I was, this little tiny puppy, in a big cage, surrounded by big dogs, who decided to make fun of me. They said, look at the little shrimp over there. He's nothing but a fur ball. He'll never get picked. And I cried until one day I decided to get my nerve up. And I told them, I am mighty, I am Buddy, and I am a mighty Bichon. Well, they all dropped because they said, we're barking, he's talking. Friends, all dogs can understand each other when they bark, just so that you know. But I spoke, and I put them in their place, and I told them all, shut up! I am Buddy, and I am mighty and strong. Well, they were all surprised that I could talk. And they sort of left me alone, because now they realized, hey, he's going to get a lot of attention. But I knew better. I said, no, I will not speak to anyone. I will only speak to the person that gets me and brings me to the house. Everybody was waiting online to get owners. Everybody in the shelter. Everybody wanted a home to go to. I wanted one too. People would come and they'd pet me until one day a lady and her daughter came into the shelter. They were just looking, they said. And my mother, that would be my mother, she said, do you have any puppies? And the man said, yes, we just got a few puppies in. I have a little Bichon if you would like to see him. And she went, okay, but I don't know what a Bichon is. Well, here I come trotting out a fur ball, all disheveled. My hair was all on end. I looked a mess, to be honest with all of you. A mess. I figured, who's going to want me? She bent down, she petted me, and she said to the man, could I take him out in the courtyard and play with him a little bit? I was so excited. She was going to take me into the courtyard and play. So I went out into the courtyard and I ran around. And I was having so much fun. She could see the joy I was having. And I said to her, lady. She couldn't hear me, though. I couldn't understand why. I was sad at that moment because I thought I have an upper hand over all the big dogs. I could talk. Well, I guess the magic wasn't sprinkled on top of her head yet. So she picked me up. And I put my nose to her nose. And then I put my head to her forehead. And I loved her when I saw her. She was kind and loving. I could see that in her eyes. And when she picked me up, she whispered in my ear. And she said, little boy, I'm going to make you a star. She even kept my name. My name was Buddy when I got there. And she said, Buddy, I'm going to keep your name. We're not going to change it. And I whispered in her ear, and I said, I love you. Well, my friends, that was the first paragraph. What did you think? Oh, my goodness. It's my life. But until the next time, my friends, if you'd like to hear another chapter or another paragraph, I'm not that fast. I don't have thumbs. It takes me a minute to write. But if you want to hear another one, I'll be happy to read it to all of you. I love you guys. Take it easy. Paragraph 2. The emasculation of myself. Oh, my gracious. Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. Here we go. Well, after Mommy left the shelter, the doctor came in to visit me. I went, uh-oh, what's the doc want? Now, he worked at the shelter. And he said, buddy, we have to do a procedure on you before you're allowed to leave. I said, come on, doc, to myself, because he didn't understand that kind of language yet. You know, he was still listening to barking. He didn't realize that I could talk. And I don't know whether or not I wanted to give my secret away right away. I just didn't want to. So I listened, and he said, buddy, we're going to do a procedure. And I went, ruff, 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 ruff. So he knew I was talking to him, but he had no idea what I was thinking of saying. And he said, bud, I hate to do this to you, pal, but your manhood, that's going to have to go. All of a sudden, I was like, bah, 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 bah. I started barking like a crazy man. But again, I wasn't sure if I should tell him my secret. Well, then all the other dogs were laughing. And then the doctor left. And all the dogs started barking. Oh, my goodness, and I can understand dogs barking. And they said, buddy, you got to have your manhood removed before you go to your mommy's, before you go to your new home. I went, wait a minute here. Now, let's be real, they're like grapes. They're so tiny. I have to get them removed. And that's the law of the land. You have to have it done. You have to have it done. If you're going to be adopted, you have to have it done. So then I look at all the other male dogs that were there, and I start barking, bark, 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 bark. And they're going, oh, my goodness. We're going to get adopted. Same thing's going to happen to us. That's when I was going, you'll have it too, you know. Oh, my gracious. But I have to say, they were so kind, the other dogs, to me, because they knew I had my forever home. And one dog, he barked and barked, and he said, buddy, please, when you're on the outside, believe me, people, it's like jail in there. As nice as everybody is, you get 3 squares a day. But, hello, there's nothing better than curling up on a nice soft bed of your own in your own home. Buddy, when you're out there, please tell people to come to shelters so we can have our forever homes too. I said, fellas, you don't have to worry about that. I will make sure everyone knows that listens to me to check out shelters first before they go to a pet store. They were ever so grateful. They started cheering, hooray, hooray. They were barking. They weren't talking. They're not like me. And all of a sudden I heard, whoop, 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 whoop. They were pounding the cell. Yeah, that's what I called it. It was like a cell. And they were so happy. I said, don't worry, fellas, I got you covered. Well, I had to have the surgery. I had to have it done. And have shots, too. Yeah, I'd have it all. And that was okay. I got through it. It's a little difficult, but you know me, the general. Come on. Do you think it was going to bother me that much? No. Listen, I still get the ladies. It don't make a difference. I'm so adorable and cute. No, really, they all fall in love with me. Anyway, let me continue. So then Mommy, she comes back. I haven't seen that lady with the blonde hair in a while. And so she came back, and she looked at me, and I looked at her, and I said, oh, love at first sight when I seen her. Because I knew I was going home. With her. When I got to the car, she had a carrying crate. Oh, yes, she did. But I didn't go in a carrying crate. She put a leash around mine. Oh, yes, she did. She had a collar and a leash, and she walked me to the car. And then I saw Dorothy. If people don't know who Dorothy is is Mommy's 2006 PT Cruiser. It's a convertible. I steal it quite often. That'll come later. Oh, my goodness. Anyways, I got in the car. There was a blanket on the front seat. Snacks. Everything was there. Toys. Oh, I really thought I hit the jackpot. I hit the mother lode with this one. We pulled up to the house, and she said, buddy, this is your new home. She had a backyard that I could run around in like a crazy man. I saw other dogs in the neighborhood as I was looking out the window. They had no idea I was a general in the making. Oh, no, they didn't. But I came into the house. I had my own bed. Oh, my goodness. And my own water bowl. And it was warm and cozy when I came in. It was right around the holidays. She had a Christmas tree up and all the lights. It was beautiful. It was spectacular. I loved it. I loved every moment of it. Friends and family were coming over to meet me. They were ever so nice and gracious. They even brought toys and snacks to me. You have no idea. I felt like I was so loved, and it was so wonderful. I just loved it. Next time, we'll talk again. Bye-bye. I love you. Paragraph 3. Oh, my gracious. My first encounter with wild animals in my backyard. The installation of the doggy door. Oh, my goodness. Well, people, this is how it goes. Dad wanted to install a doggy door. Mommy said no. And I thought, who's going to win this battle? Oh, my goodness. Mommy was insisting, don't do it, Doug. Don't do it. He's going to have to go outside and he's going to want to explore everything. Dad said a man has to do what a man has to do. Oh, my goodness, and I love this man. Oh, I do. Oh, let me tell you something. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. And Mommy said, it's not a good idea. He's going to go roaming. Little does she know. Little does she know. Yeah, her prediction would be true. Yes, it would. But all of a sudden, Dad got the door installed. He was very proud of himself. He stood there with his hands on his hips. And he went, it's all done, buddy, and it's all yours. I said, you're a good man. At this point, Daddy knew I could talk. I let him in on my secret. So did Mommy. Both of them knew I could talk. Like a regular person. But nobody else knew. I kept that to myself for quite some time. I really did. I really did. Eventually, I had to talk. But for now, it was just between me, Mom, and Dad. Well, I walked out the doggy door so proud of myself. Dad had his hands on his hips. He was so happy. He said, there he goes. And who comes into the yard but turkeys? Wild turkeys. They have the woods. We do. We have woods behind our house. So the turkeys came into the yard. I thought Mommy was going to faint right then and there. She came out with a broom. She started going in, chasing those turkeys out. And I said, just a minute, woman. And she stopped in her place. She goes, what did you just say to me? I said, just a minute here, Mom. There's no need for you to chase the turkeys out of the yard. I'm going to meet them. She said, buddy, those turkeys are bigger than you are. I said, that's all right. I'm mighty. That's correct. I'll always be. I have my nerve in my back pocket. I said, let me talk to them. And I did. I spoke to the big Tom turkey. He introduced himself. One of them said his name was Sam. I said, Sam, my name is Buddy. You can tell your pals that I really don't want you hanging in the backyard. I don't like a mess in the backyard. No, I don't. Believe me, people, that's coming later. But I don't like a mess in my backyard. And you turkeys don't care where you go. And I'm not slipping and sliding into anything. So I'll leave some birdseed at the corner of the house. That way you could come out from the woods and have some. But I am not going to have you in the backyard. Is that here? Is that clear? Is that clear? And they said yes. Yes. I said, very good. I turned to my mother, and she's got the broom in her hand, and she's ready to smack everybody. And I said, Mother, there is no need. They're fine, everybody. And they left. They all patrolled out of the yard. There must have been 6 or 7 of them. But it didn't make a difference. And their ma stood with her broom in her hand, losing her mind. But that's okay. She loses her mind a lot, so that's okay. So Mom went back in the house, and she said, Buddy, don't you leave this yard. You gotta be kidding me. Oh, my goodness. That's not gonna happen. So she went back in the house. I roamed around the yard just a little bit, just to take out the new scents and smells. Well, I sniffed around a little bit more in the backyard. I noticed that Mommy wasn't at the back door anymore. So I figured there's a path that leads down to the street and down to the woods. Maybe, just maybe, I could walk down that path. I walked down the path of our backyard, past the garage. I looked to my right, I looked to my left, and I thought, I want to check out everything around me. I looked back to see if Mommy was at the door, and she wasn't. So I thought to myself, now's the chance to go exploring, because I'm a dog. I want to explore. Well, I made a left. And I started smelling the bushes and the trees and the poles. Let me tell you something, I had a blast. And I walked, and it was quiet because the woods were behind the house. And I'm on the street, and I'm looking at the woods. There were no leaves on the trees. It was wintertime. And little by little, I come to a house. Oh, my goodness! I saw the most gigantic thing I have ever seen in my entire life. I will see you all on paragraph 4. I love you. Paragraph 4. My first encounter with a new friend. I stopped in my tracks immediately. I seen this gigantic thing. It looked like a pony of some sort. I walked very slowly towards him, and I kept walking and walking, and then he noticed me, and he started barking and barking. I went, pal, just a minute here. Oh, my goodness. I started barking back. I figured he could understand that. Little did I know, there would be a lot he couldn't understand. But I walked right to his fence, right to his property, and I said to him, boy, you're a big boy. And he started barking and barking. And I said to him, what's your name, pal? What's your name? And he said, Bartholomew. Oh, my goodness. He was a Great Dane, gigantic like a horse. And I was little. I'm really little compared to Bartholomew. But he just looked at me, and I looked at him, and I started speaking, regular speaking, like I'm talking to people. And I said, wow, man, you're a big dog. And he had no idea what I was saying. I had to teach Bartholomew. I just knew we would be friends. He started running around in the backyard, just like a pony. And I said, wow. But I wanted to go in his backyard, and I wanted to run around like he was running around. So I went to the gate. I walked ever so slowly, just looking to see what he would do. Never realizing he was going to be a big dumb doofus. Yes, he was. Oh, my goodness. But I walked to the gate, and I said, can I come in? Can I come into the backyard? He barked, whoop, 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 whoop. He had a deep bark, a real deep bark, and I opened the gate. Of course I did. Of course. Did you think I wouldn't? I walked in. I took a look at the backyard. Oh, my, what a mess. What a mess. He wasn't like me, clean. No. But he looked at me, and I introduced myself. I said, my name is Buddy. Can you say Buddy? And he looked at me, and finally he said, Buddy. Oh, my, I couldn't believe it. I'll be becoming a teacher now. Yes, I was. I was becoming a teacher. So we had a chance to really bond over a bowl of water, and he even offered me a big bone. And let me tell you something, people. I didn't know milk bones came in gigantic sizes. But he offered me one, and I couldn't say no. So I was munching on the bone. It was too big for me. But he gobbled his right down. And I was munching and talking to him. And I told him where I came from, that I was in a shelter, and I got adopted. And he said, what? I thought, oh, goodness, here we go. This is going to be more difficult than I thought, because he really didn't know how to speak, so I had to be a learned man and try to teach him, because we could bark a lot, but I didn't want to. It's easier to speak. So over the couple of weeks that we got to know each other, I tried to teach him how to speak, just a little bit. And he did. He learned how to speak too, but he kept it a secret. He wasn't going to say anything to anybody. Not me. Eventually that was all going to come out. Oh, yes, it was. But Bartholomew, he kept it a secret. I knew that he was sort of on the dumb side. He was, and still is. But we turned out to be the best friends ever. We were having adventure after adventure. We went around the whole entire neighborhood. He introduced me to everyone. And I was so lucky to have him as my friend. And he was lucky to have me as his friend as well. Yes, he was. I got a lot of chances to meet some older dogs in the neighborhood. I met my friend Henry. He's a German Shepherd that lives down the street. And I met him. He was old. Henry's old, but he was really knowledgeable on so many things. He was brilliant. He had his parents, Mr. and Mrs. Salami. Yeah, that's their names, Mr. and Mrs. Salami. Well, yes. And Bartholomew's mother, their last name was Jones. Mrs. Jones. Yeah, Mrs. Jones didn't like me too much. She said I was too worldly of a man for Bartholomew. I hate to say this, but anybody is worldly, really, than Bartholomew. But he means no harm. Just a goofball. Really, just a goofball. But that's okay. Henry was a lot of fun. Even though he was old and he sat around most of the time, he told us stories. Me and Bartholomew would sit and listen to Henry. He was an old German shepherd, but he had fire in his furnace. He told everybody he did. He was always looking for a younger gal. That was going to get Henry into trouble. Yes, it was. But I didn't have the heart to tell him, at least at that time. Oh, my goodness. That's the truth. But I had that opportunity to meet all the people in the neighborhood. Mother didn't like the idea that I was roaming around the streets all the time, but she got used to it after a while. Oh, yes, she did. Yes, she did. And I had many, many, many adventures. But until the next time, my friends, and there's always a next time, I love each and every single one of you. And you know I'm going to see you all again and talk to you some more. Are you enjoying this? Are you enjoying it? Are you making pictures of you in your own mind how things are? Just like any good book, you can imagine what I was doing and seeing. Yes, you can. Because every child can imagine, and so can adults. So until the next time, I love you. Bye-bye. Part 6 of the chapter. Oh, my goodness. Well, I've started to get to know the neighborhood a little bit better every single day. I now had a best friend called Bartholomew, which I have to say he was hard to handle. Still is to this day. We've been friends for quite some time. We have been. But something amazing happened. Absolutely amazing. Do you know that stuffed animals can come alive? Yes, they can. Yes, they can. I was sitting on the floor one day, playing with my stuffed monkey. I was throwing my stuffed monkey all over the place, having a grand old time. Really, I was. Until finally, the stuffed monkey said, "Hold on here." I went, "Wait a minute. Are you talking to me?" And she said, "I most certainly am. My name is Marigold." Well, I just stood there in shock. I didn't think a stuffed animal could talk. I've been playing with all these animals. And now she came alive to talk to me? Oh, my goodness. Well, I have to say, she was a little difficult. She really was. You know, she was one of those fussy types. She was. But it was amazing, just amazing. She'd say, "Buddy, I don't need you throwing me around from room to room." I couldn't believe she could talk. I couldn't. And I couldn't believe she could understand me either. That was just amazing. People were sending all stuffed animals to me. Neighbors, friends. They were bringing toys over to me. I had more toys than I knew what to do with. I had so many stuffed animals. A neighbor brought over Bovina. Bovina was a cow. Yes, she was. And she started to talk to me. She didn't go moo, moo, moo. I think it's because they lived in this house. And my magic was working on the stuffed animals. Oh, my goodness. They all started to speak to me. It got a little tiresome, though, because a lot of times they were demanding so much from me. I couldn't keep straight. Marigold was talking to me, saying, "Buddy, I need bananas." And Bovina was saying, "I need grass." And all of a sudden, I thought to myself, "Oh, my goodness, this is a lot of work. This is a lot of work." Then I had a possum. Yes, a possum. He was a stuffed animal, too. And he came to life. Oh, my goodness. He said, "Buddy, my name is Horatio." I went, "Oh, my goodness." Well, then they all started to talk. But we all had a good time. We would gather in my room at night, and I would have them all sitting up, and we would all talk and laugh. It was like having friends all the time, all around the clock. But again, they were demanding, and they expected a lot from me. I was only one small bichon, and yet I tried to keep up with all the demands. We all became such good friends. I was so lucky to have them. Some of my stuffed animals didn't talk to me. They just stood around and watched. They just sat there. I couldn't understand. I guess Horatio and Marigold and Bovina were the lucky ones. They were sprinkled with magic and fairy dust that made them talk. Oh, my gracious! It was unbelievable. It really was. I tried to tell Bartholomew that some of my stuffed animals came to life. He was really nuts, and he said, buddy, there's no way that stuffed animals come to life and talk to you. I said to him, listen, pal, I'm having a card night at my house one night. Why don't you come over and meet the gang? Oh, my goodness, he did. And when he did, he realized they were all talking. So we all became very good friends. But me and Bartholomew were the best of friends. Over the years, there were so many stuffed animals. Some of them just sat still and didn't do anything. But somebody brought me a lion. Oh, my goodness. He came to life. Yes, he did. He ate us at a house and home. I was constantly feeding him. Otherwise, I thought I'd be the next meal on the plate. You have no idea. Bovina was very nervous. She wouldn't go around the lion. No, she would not, because she was afraid. After all, he used to look at her like she was a big hamburger or a steak. So she stayed clear of him. And then there was Cha-Cha, the dancing chicken. Oh, yeah, she was made of rubber. But yes, she was, and she came to life. Oh boy, I had my hands filled with Cha-Cha, the dancing chicken. Oh, my goodness, she wanted the attention like you cannot believe. But I had more friends now than I knew what to do with. But then, and only then, did I look out my window one day, and there she was, across the street from my house. Oh, my goodness. See you again, my friends. Bye-bye. Next chapter. Oh, my gracious. Oh, my gracious. You have no idea. In front of the window, I have a buddy bench. Do you know what a buddy bench is? It's a bench that I could jump up on. Yes, I have a bed underneath it. I most certainly do. And then I'm able to spread the curtains when I jump on the bench, and I can look directly out the window. Well, I saw the most beautiful creature I have ever seen in my entire life. She was another Bichon, and she was looking out her window, and we were waving back to one another. Her name was Penny. Penny, the Bichon. She was so stunningly beautiful that I took it upon myself to walk out the doggy door. Yes, I did. And walk across the street and knock on her door. Well, I knocked on the door. I even rang the doorbell. She came over to the door, but her mother answered it. And I said, hi, I'm Buddy. I live across the street. The mother was almost shocked when a dog was talking to her, but I couldn't help it. I couldn't keep it a secret. My goodness, I had to meet this exotic piece of confectionery that was right across the street from me. Oh, her hair was snowy white. Yes, it was. And she had a bow in it and wearing pearls around her neck. Oh, my goodness, she was so beautiful. And she came to the door in a shy way, and she said, can I help you? I said, hi, I'm Buddy. I live across the street. I think you're beautiful. And she said to me, oh, please. I went, uh-oh, maybe I said too much. And she said, I really don't talk to strangers. I said, well, I'm not. I promise. I live right across the street. See that window over there? You were just waving at me, and I was waving at you. She goes, you don't look familiar to me. I thought, okay, wait a minute. I know I'm not seeing things. We were just waving to one another across the street. And she said, well, since we are neighbors, I'll be neighborly. Would you like to come in? Oh, my goodness, I shot right through the door. I couldn't wait to go into her house. First of all, I'm a little nosy, and I wanted to see how she lived. She asked me if I wanted to go up to her room to see what her room was like. I bolted up those stairs. Oh, I ran so fast, I had no idea where I was going. And she said, just a minute, Buddy. This is my private bedroom. Just a moment. And I stood outside the door, and then she said, you may enter. Her room was filled with stuffed animals from floor to ceiling and books. Yes, her mommy read to her. Can you believe it? She was a learned one, too. She could talk. She was like me. She was really a good talker. I felt like, oh, my goodness, I have somebody that I could talk to. She sat me down, and she said, do you know these books? I said, not really. She says, would you like me to read you a book? I said, absolutely, go right ahead. And she read me books, and she was very smart. And she asked me, what kind of job do you hold, Buddy? I went, uh-oh. I said, I don't have a job. She goes, well, you must have a job if you want to date me. I went, uh-oh, we're in trouble, Houston. We're in trouble. I didn't have a job. I couldn't make money. I didn't even know what to do. I just met her. She said, I like the finer things. I like jewelry. I like necklaces and rings and toys. If you're going to be in my life, you're going to have to give me those things. I went, uh-oh. Wait a minute here. Just a moment. Hey, listen. I've been around the block a few times. After all, I was in a shelter. I heard it all. I heard it all. And I said, gold digger. It came right out of my mouth. She said, get out of my house right now. I went, oh, wait. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say it out loud. I was only thinking it. Well, with that, she just threw me right out of the house. Can you imagine? Well, sometimes things work out, sometimes they don't. But let me say this. I had a crush on her for a very long time. A very long time. See you the next time, my friends. Part 7. Here we go. Oh, my goodness. Are you enjoying my stories as I read them to you? Well, they're all written down, and I'm just reading right off the paperwork right here in front of all of you. Yes, I am. Anyways, let's get on with the story. Many things happened over the years. Marigold got married to Marty. Yes, she did. That was Marigold the monkey. And Marty was he was a monkey too. He was an organ grinder. They got married and off they went. Oh, please. They had baby Luther a few years later. That was something else. Oh, my God. He's my godson. Yes, he is. He's my godson. And I see baby Luther occasionally, but he's still wild. Wild. Oh, my goodness. He give me a headache. You know how the little ones are. Climbing on anything, swinging from things. Well, they're monkeys after all. And he gave me a run for my money. Uncle Buddy was getting tired. Really tired. Larry the lion, well, he finally left. I had to get him out of the house. Oh, my goodness. He has had a house and home. Yes, he was. And Bovina? She had a special place in my heart. She went to her family's farm, and there she stayed, meeting others, and she wanted to have her own love in her life. And I said, Bovina, you'll have to go to that farm, because there's no way I'm having another cow in this house. Absolutely not. Friends came and gone over the years. I met so many. Oh, my goodness, I was so lucky. Absolutely so lucky. It's good to be me, that's all I can say. But then a few years later came, and the relatives moved in. Oh, my goodness. Mommy's daughter, Angelina. Oh, my goodness. I have a soft spot for her. She's just so beautiful and terrific. So much fun to hang around with. She'd always get on the floor with me and play and run around with me in the backyard. My mother didn't do those things. She played with me on the floor, but she wasn't running around. Oh, please, take that visual in your head and think about it for just a moment. Dad used to run around with me in the backyard. Still does to this day. Oh, yes, he's a little old, but he still runs. Oh, you have no idea. He still runs around the yard playing with me. My mother just leaves us both outside sometimes and says, get out of the house. Get out of the house, the two of you. Oh, my goodness. But let's get back to the relatives. Lily was a chocolate lab. Floozy, gold digger. Oh, yeah, I don't have great words for her. And Riley, well, he was a golden retriever. You talk about dumb, but he was old, very old. And he was sort of slow. He didn't like to do too much. I did invite him to go out, but then he'd come up with all different kinds of excuses. I just said, you know what? This guy just likes to stay around the house, hang out with my mother, and sleep on the floor. Yeah, that's what he liked to do. And he'd follow my mother in every room she went. I sort of felt sorry for her, but you know what? He was like somebody that I could get away with a lot more because my mother was concentrating on him. Yes, she was. And she sort of let me go, and I just walk out that doggy door and say, see you later. Now, the doggy dog was small. It was, just for me. Lily tried to get out that doggy door a few times, but she got stuck. So did Bartholomew. He did. He went through the doggy door one day, and he got stuck. Half his body in, half his body out. Oh, that's a whole other story. Oh, my goodness. All the stories over my life. It's just amazing. My relatives, Lily, she got to be friends with Penny across the street. Penny was teaching her a few things or two. Lily became a harlot. Just a harlot. She was running the streets all over the place. My mother would say, buddy, go find Lily. Oh, my goodness. It was ridiculous, really. She was with one dog after the next. And I'd say, stop this. Yeah, because she wanted them to buy things for her. Oh, yeah, Penny across the street. She really taught Lily well. Bartholomew even had a crush on Lily. I had to get him away from her quickly, because she'd taken advantage of Bartholomew. That poor man, I'm telling you, that poor guy, he would have went to jail a million times if it wasn't for me trying to bail him out of every situation. He was stealing stuff and bones from butcher shops to give to everybody. Oh, it was ridiculous, really, just ridiculous. But my stories, this is my life. This is my life. You know, it can't be helped. This is the mischief I got into and the trials and tribulations that came along with it. I hope you're enjoying these stories. It is a lot of fun for me. A lot of you have said, Buddy, that book should be written. It should be written. And I say to all of the people out there, go right ahead, write the book. Oh, my goodness. Dedicate it to me, please. Dedicate it to me. Because this is my life and this is my stories. But anyway, my friends, until the next time, we'll get into some other things. But remember, I love you guys. Isn't this fun? Part 8. Oh my gracious. Over some time, people found out that I could talk. Hey, listen, I had to start talking to people. This is how I became a little popular in my neighborhood. So much so that I was interviewed. Yes, I was. Now, the good part about my life is that I put everything on a video. Yes, I did. So you could all go and watch every single video because I'm not lying. I was interviewed. I was. Oh, yes, I was from a news reporter. He came to the house and he interviewed me. I have to say, I was a little pushy. That's true. That's true. That's true. Because he was so intrigued in finding out that this dog could talk. Oh, well, what are you going to do? What are you going to say? This is what happens. So I started doing interviews, and then I had to get a P.O. box. Do you know what a P.O. box is? It's like a mailing address. Yes. People started sending cards, letters, gifts. Oh, my goodness. Because they were reaching out to Mommy and asking her, where can we send a card for Buddy? So I got a P.O. box. Oh, my goodness. I used to go to the post office. I still do. And this season, it's going to be a lot of fun because I'm waiting for letters and pictures to be sent. Oh, I can't wait. I cannot wait. We're going on Monday. Yes, we are. We're going on Monday to the post office, and we're hoping that people started to send cards and letters. More letters. We love letters. We love them. And pictures. Children drawing pictures and sending them my way. You have no idea how my life changed. My life changed in so many ways, but so many good ways. Over the years, yes, my friends, over the years, parents started reaching out to me. They did, and reaching out to Mommy. And it was for sick children. They'd ask if I could do a video for their child. And they'd give me a bunch of information, and I was able to personalize those videos. Oh, my gracious, I have met and lost some beautiful children in my life. Yes, I have. I keep it personal to myself. I don't like to discuss it very often. It's a very hard subject for me. But just know that Uncle Buddy was always available whenever he could be. Yes, to all my little friends out there. And there were a lot. I wish I never had to make one video. Not one. But that's my life. And that's what I was put on this earth to do. To bring joy. Even for a little short time. Anyways, let's continue. Because I could get very upset talking about that. So as the years went by, oh my gracious, I had so much happening. So many things were happening. I was on the phone with dating services. I was setting Bartholomew up. Yes, I was. I got stuck with a few. Bartholomew said, Buddy, you should put your ad in a dating service. And instead of me doing it, he did it, and you have no idea. The videos are there. What kind of women showed up? Oh, my great people. You could scroll along the videos. You'll see them for yourself. Frightening. Oh, my, nice ladies. Some. But some of them had 16 children. I'm a bachelor man. I never looked to have children of my own. I couldn't, if you get my drift. But I just went, I can't do this. I like being a single man. Always have. A lot of ladies have said to me, Buddy, aren't you going to settle down? No. That would be the answer. I'll never settle down. Never. Hey, we're talking about the general here. I'm a man in uniform. Women love that. they do. Over the years, I met some of you people through letters and cards and gifts. Oh my gracious, there's so many people to thank. So many people to thank. I think I do a good job in thanking everybody. I really do. I wish I could send letters and cards back, but it's hard. It really is hard. But that's okay. When I come out on here, I always make sure to tell yous I love yous, and I make sure to always mention if you send a card or a letter. Oh, yes, I do, and a gift. Of course I do. After all, I am Buddy. You know, I am a gentleman, for goodness sakes. Of course I am. But it's been an amazing ride for me. It really has. I can't believe how things changed up in my life. I met some animal friends out there from the Facebook. Oh my! Now don't stick me to it because there's too many and I can't mention them all. I've lost some of my friends too. Yes, I have, in the animal community. They're in heaven right now, waiting for all of you people to go by, and you'll have your turn to visit, and then you'll see them again. Oh my gracious! It has been a marvelous life, and I'm still young. I am. So hopefully I'll have more, stories to tell and things to talk about. But I just wanted to just briefly go over some of these things with all of you. If you're interested, you could always go to Facebook right here and see all the videos because there's so many. Oh my goodness. There really are. There really are. But until the next time, my friends, and there's always a next time, that's the end of this particular book. There might be others that'll be coming, but I just wanted to thank you from the bottom of my heart, truly from the bottom of my heart, to say thank you for welcoming me into your homes, into your families, for reaching out to me, for talking to me, for sending those letters and cards and gifts, because they mean so much to me. And my heart is full, extremely full. I love you. Maybe, just maybe, we'll continue this book. Bye-bye.